Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm gonna do a video for you guys of talking about a car chase that I filmed in Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip. And this is for a movie that I made back in 2015 called Las Vegas Story. You can, check out the film. Actually, it's on TubiTV. I'll provide the link below so you guys can check that out. But before you guys do this, let's make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content related to filmmaking and stories about the process of filmmaking and some of the stories and themes within my films. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'm going to play the car chase scene that I filmed, and then I'll kind of talk through it and tell you guys kind of how I did this. One thing, just to let you guys know, this is a movie that, we had a lot of challenges while making this film. It was shot on location in Las Vegas. We shot inside the casinos, so there's a lot of scenes that we actually stole from the biggest casinos in Vegas and got away with it. We filmed in the parking lot, and you'll see a lot of this. But this scene specifically, the car chase, was like one of the most stressful and difficult scenes to film. And, in hindsight, it was very dangerous too. So I'm gonna break it down and kind of give you guys some tips about what not to do. But yeah, let's check it out. So we got Wade Allain-Marcus in this scene. He's gone on to do a few things now. You guys can look him up on IMDb. But let's check it out. All right, how do I play this? Yeah, I stole this shot from Drive. I was like pretty big into Drive at this time. So he just came from the casino. These guys, he owes those guys some money, and he lost a shitload of money in the casino. And these dudes, they're Mexican cartel types, and they're gonna come after him. Yep, that's Big Trouble. And then we got Gabriel, who's the other dude in there. Got that Integra from my buddy Jack, who's a rapper now in Vegas. You guys check out his music. But we used his Integra. He hooked it up, I don't even think he knows what we did with his car, man. But we fucking went all out on the streets out there. This other car, this SUV, we borrowed it from a friend of our producer who is actually a police officer. Here we go. Boom! So there's stunt drivers in here, every time you see them doing this. Ooh, look at that. And bam! Smashes through a fence. And Doug gets away. And that thing... See, I'm standing behind that car right there, actually. I probably should have played the video for you guys without me talking over it, but anyways, so a couple of things about this car chase scene. As you can see, it's quite short, but it was difficult to do, and we really had to kind of work it out in the editing process. And big ups to my editor, Scott Morris, for really redoing the cut that I initially made, which sucked, and making it actually work. So, the whole idea behind the car chase is like to really build the tension and anticipation, right? Of them like catching him. And that's pretty much, with car chases. So, you really just want to set that tension of these guys coming. So you're cutting back and forth from like him looking scared, you see it in the emotions in his eyes, to like these goons chasing after him, and we really want to show like his face and his eyes, right? Boom, you got the shot of his eyes in the rearview mirror, and we're cutting back and forth, and boom, we hit that corner really sharp with the stunt driver. And we filmed it, we were in like a little convertible like a Miata or something. So we had the camera guy hanging off the car with the camera. I don't know how they did it, but they rigged it so one guy was literally like hanging with the camera. We shot on the a red Epic, or no, red, yeah, I think it was a red Epic, and and we actually got pulled over by the cops at one point, and but they didn't really say anything. At least they didn't know that we were filming this crazy car chase. So we had a permit for all of Vegas, so technically we were allowed to be filming, on the streets. But I think with like these type of stunt driving scenes, my advice would be first of all to get stunt drivers, which we had, but they weren't exactly like straight up professional stunt drivers, like in Hollywood at least. They were like more like they do their own stunt driving and they're sort of like a crew, right? So one thing that they should have done was like, and I'm sure maybe they did some of it, but like you need to have vehicles that are specifically equipped to do stunts, because as you'll see later in this scene, one of the cars, like, that was not planned, the way that the car spun out at the end of the scene, how it ends. That was not planned. The brakes actually gave out on that SUV because we were doing these turns so many times, right? We reshot this over and over to get the angles and the shots. So, inside the car, you got shots inside the car, and then you have scenes of them, like the POV shots, and then you have these where you're kind of like tracking, and then you show them like getting close, and then use of sound effects is really effective here. Obviously we didn't really actually hit the car, but you can use sound effects and the screeching of the tires. The sound design here is really crucial to really sell the car chase. Here it is. Here's where this guy hits like a super crazy curve. Bam! Corner right here. Boom! Now the brakes gave out and the SUV spun out of control and they smashed through a fence. And I was actually standing. Actually, you can see me right here. Hold up. Okay, here. Oh shit. So I was filming with like a third camera. Like, I was literally standing right behind this SUV. You can see kind of like my foot right here. But like, that shit almost, I mean, I'm not gonna say I had to jump out of the way or anything, but like the car was definitely, if somehow spun in a different direction, or like it completely spun out of control, it definitely potentially could have hit me. I was so caught up in filming, I really didn't, I was more like, oh, what the hell is going on with the car spinning out of control? Because it was like, I mean, straight up, you see it's out of control. But it was never like coming towards me. But afterwards, everybody was scared because the way the angle from here, at least if you're filming from here, you're just like, oh shit, like what happened to the director? Yeah, you can kind of see my feet back there. But we mapped out the entire um, area that we were gonna drive through, like the streets, and we picked streets that had the correct kind of lighting, and that's why you can see some of the lights reflecting off of the windshield. And we mapped it out. It had drawings, diagrams, and you could put like little toy cars and really kind of like play around with that. We drove that route like so many times before we actually went and filmed it. We scattered it out in the evenings as well as like on the certain you gotta be careful. Like if it's on a Friday night, for example, the traffic is gonna be a little bit different because we didn't have the money to block off traffic. So all those cars, it's all live traffic. We're literally like, So don't try this at home, but this is what I did. I'm not gonna promote it like you guys should try this or anything. I'm just saying, hey, this is what I did. This is what we got away with. If you're gonna try to do something like this, just be sure that you're testing the cars and having them check the brakes and everything, and you have professional stunt drivers doing this, and preferably block off the streets if you can. If not, you don't have to be going super fast. You can make it seem like you're going fast. We weren't really speeding, only in those parts where they're hitting a corner, and we made sure we hit those corners when there were no other cars around. And we had like walkie-talkies, radios to really communicate. That was a big part of it. It was a whole operation. Like that whole scene took like an entire night to film. And we couldn't even get a lot of stuff that I originally wanted. Originally, I had in the script where like those dudes hang out of the SUV and like start dumping on him. But like with the real AK-47, we had like some real firearms on set, which again I don't recommend. That was not really planned. Like one of the we had an armor, you know, he brought a real gun, but we ended up not really using it because yeah, we didn't want to risk having a real gun hanging out of a window on the Las Vegas Strip by dudes who look like that and doing a car chase that we technically were not supposed to be doing. So yeah, you know, that's kind of like the story behind this car chase. There's a lot of other moments within the making of this film. So if you guys like this, you know, if you're an indie filmmaker like myself, or if you're just interested in, you know, how movies are made, at least on a super low budget shoestring level, just leave me a comment and let me know if you guys want to see more content like this, because I don't know, you know, some of my videos don't get that many views, but if you guys tell me you like this kind of stuff, I'll try to make more. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.